And another good afternoon to you. John Verlin with On Demand Advertising Solutions Digital Marketing Update. And got an email this past week from a gentleman named Craig, and he is in North Kansas City, Missouri. And he has a good question. We've talked about this. He says, John, I've listened to your podcast. I appreciate everything you're saying. I like it. But my real question is, you talk about content and why it's so important, and I understand that, but again, it comes down to my investment, my budget, my time, and I have to choose, and I understand that. He says, would it be better off if I just focused and bought ads on Google or Facebook or digital online ads targeting my prospects, etc.? Well, Craig, that's a good question, but let's step back a minute and let's think back 20 years ago, 15 maybe or whatever. Let's say you saw an ad on TV for a plumber, and they were offering a special discount for fall furnace, reviews and checking out your furnace. But you didn't quite get the name of it. You thought it was Joe's Plumbing. It kind of went by quick. You didn't get the phone number because it just went by too quick. So you decide to go ahead, and you're going to find out, back then, 20 years ago, 15 years ago, what did you do? You might go to the white pages in the phone book and look up Joe's Plumbing. You think it was Joe's Plumbing. It might have been Mayfair Plumbing, but you weren't sure. So then what are you going to do? Not sure. You didn't find it in the white pages, so what would you do next? Ask your friends? Put out a photo or a flyer somewhere? No, you'd probably went to the yellow pages back then. And you would look up plumbing. And you would search the list of plumbers. Oh, there it is. It wasn't Joe's Plumbing. It was Mayfair Plumbing. Okay, so you call them and you give them the business, right? Well, back then, businesses had to pay a lot of money to get listed in the yellow pages. Well, if you didn't get listed, and many times I got to be there. Why? Well, my competition's there. Well, where's your competition at now? It's online. Online is our new yellow pages, so to speak. That's where people go to look and search for your business or anybody else's. Plumbers in my area. They do it on their smartphone. They ask Alexa, Siri, hey, Google. That's become our new yellow pages. That's our new directory of search, okay? So the reason all this content and linking and rankings are so important is because of the branding platform, which I've mentioned. In other words, it's part of your brand. It's part of the perception and the image prospects are going to have when they see you or not see you. Now, if somebody searches for your business, Craig, on Google, what are they going to find? Maybe one link to your website, a Facebook business page, a Yelp review. So adding that to the search engine, your listing, is critical to getting calls, clicks, and visits. And Google My Business is probably one of the most important because that's linked to Google, and all the information, if you've seen that, what hours are you open and your phone number, and making sure everything's accurate is critical not only for the customer, the prospect standpoint, but for Google's search engine to rank you properly. Okay, so that's number one. The first thing is getting listed on Google My Business. There are other directories such as Manta, Alignable, your local chamber. And if you're involved in your local chamber, you'll be listed on their directory. All of these will form links tied into the name of your business when people search, which is great. But you can do above and beyond that. And I know you've got a budget and your time, but content allows you to update new information about your business and your expertise on a weekly basis if you want, multiple times a week, whatever you want to do. And that will form links as well on top of the other links and consistently add links to your business. That's why content links are so critical. That's what I wanted to focus on in this podcast. But listing your company on Google is critical, but above and beyond that, search engine results and listings have replaced the Yellow Page directory of 15, 20 years ago. And your credibility, Craig, is tied to your brand image formed from a prospect searching for business information. Again, this is all part of the marketing platform infographic I have listed there on the blog post. It's all tied into an overall brand currency, brand image, whatever you want to call it, that's tied to the perception they see when they first search for you or find you. The greater links you have and listings make for what I'm going to call curious prospects who may subconsciously place your business above your competition. They pull up, a plumbing business. Oh, they see 2 links. Then they type in another one they know of, and there's 15 links. What's the subconscious impression? Well, these other guys must not be any good. They've only got a couple links. Just like the star reviews, 4-star review, 3-star, 5-star. What do you go with first? All that's impressions. May not be true, but that's the impression. That's our new directory. And no online presence, and this is important to particularly small businesses who don't have a website or barely an online presence. No online presence is psychologically no longer an excuse for smartphone-savvy shoppers and prospects. They don't care. If you don't have a listing when they search, you don't exist. So you have to have a presence. This is why we emphasize this with people we talk to and recommending content, links, consistently posting content, because that will provide these listings and links on a regular basis to consistently build out the platform. And promoting it through social media does the same thing. They all work together in the search engines. But more importantly, they work together from the prospect standpoint when they do look for you. They Google your name, your business name, and all of a sudden you got 15, 20 links, a page or two of links, all tied to different platforms, Facebook, LinkedIn, Alignable, Manta, Twitter, whatever, as well as your blog. And this is why the blog is so important, Craig, because all the blog listings or content you produce will form listings over time, which again will add on and on and on, particularly if they're posted on YouTube. So this is why all of this is so critical. It's replaced the Yellow Page directory we used to have, and it forms first impressions and it builds brand currency. That's why. And I know you need to decide, well, what do I do, this or that? Well, the easiest way to start is get listed on Google My Business, join a chamber, be involved in, obviously networking, but you also get listed on their chamber page, a Facebook business page, and then promote on social media. These are all things you can do. Yeah, you may have to pay somebody to do it or however you want to do that. But yeah, it will take some time. But this is, again, all part of your marketing platform described in that infographic I have listed on the blogs, my blog posts, because it all works together. And then the paid advertising, whether it's Google AdWords, Facebook advertising, direct mail, television, radio, print, direct mail, email marketing, all of that reinforces and directs people to your website, or when they do search, these things will all come up. Otherwise, you could put $10,000 a month into television advertising. If they didn't quite catch your name and they go search, or they do catch your name and they go search, and you don't have a whole lot there, what's that going to do? You spent all this money to get them to your site, and they do a search before they go to the site perhaps, or after they go to the site, and you don't have a whole lot there. How's that going to affect that TV advertising effectiveness and return on your investment? John Verlin12 at AT&T.net is my email. I'd love to hear from you. Craig, thank you for the email. Your comments, questions, love to answer them and do my best to figure out how to make all this work online for you, as well as tying into your total marketing package. OnDemandAdvertisingSolutions.com is the website, and you have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.